Howdy friends, it's Frightman, and this is a 7-foot animated Plague Doctor from the Home Depot Halloween 2024 season. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to put this Plague Doctor together, and it's a lot of fun. If you'd like to see a video on how to put him back in his box, I have that video. If you would like to see a video on a fair and honest review and his demo, I have that video. But for now, let me show you how to build the Plague Doctor. Okay, so let's go ahead and start to get this Plague Doctor assembled up. So the first step is going to be the base. And over here, this is going to be his front, this is his back. Over here on the front left, there is an attachment here that is going to hold his cane. So that's going to be your front. That's going to go over to the left. The angle pole here is angled out towards the front of what's going to be our Plague Doctor. So we're going to go ahead and build this base real quick, and then after we do that, we're going to be dropping on these boots, and these boots are big and heavy. So just looking at it, it looks like there is a right boot and a left boot. Looks like I have them twisted around here. So something like that. And we're going to go ahead and drop those boots on. So there is a little bar here that the boots will lock into. They have a big slide here, so that just keeps them from turning left to right. So we'll do that. Next, we're ready to go ahead and install these poles to go ahead and elevate him up. I'm not going to call out letters on these poles, because if you try to do this a year from now, you may not have letters left on your poles, but they are different. So the pole that we are putting over here on his left side, this is, let me just double check here, I believe it is the shorter one. Yes. Okay, so one is about an inch shorter than the other, and the shorter pole here is going to go over to the left, and the longer pole is going to go over here to his right leg. So now we are ready to go ahead and drop the Plague Doctor's costume down on his legs. A couple things that I will point out here. There is a wire that is coming off of the front of the costume here. The IR sensor is located right here, so there is also a wire on the inside of this costume. And it looks like the costume will Velcro down the back. So you want to go ahead and Velcro that down the back, but just be aware that there is this wire for the sensor here in the front, so that as we're putting this down, we don't pull that wire and cause any kind of damage. So normally when I put a costume on these poles, it's a really easy thing to do, right? This should not be hard to do. It is. On this guy, it is. And the reason is because this part of this is lined with all of this fish netting, and I don't get that yet, what the purpose of this is. Guess we'll find out later on. But as you're trying to put this thing down over these poles, this netting keeps getting caught, right? You think you're getting it, and then the netting gets caught and it doesn't go down. So I went on ahead and took some time to try to figure this out, and this is what I found out works best. So I'm going to take my hands and actually just go and all the way down to the costume like this, and then I'm going to come through here and drop it this way, and by doing it this way, I can see if that netting is getting caught on the poles, and then I can avoid that from happening. Whew. Okay, we're ready to go ahead and install this torso, or in the control box. This is very, very heavy, and whenever I picked this up, this little piece of plastic came flying out of it, and I have no idea what this is. I'm gonna have to look around and try to figure out where this came from. But it doesn't look like it's packing material. It looks like it's probably it's probably an important piece. And at least initially, that doesn't make me happy. So I'm gonna look around and see if I can find out where this goes. Another thing is I had a screw in the box, and nowhere in the instructions does it talk about a screw. So I'm wondering if this was supposed to be screwed on somewhere, and it no longer is. So let me take a look and see if I can find out where does this go. But in the meantime, I have went on ahead and attached this torso to these leg poles. So I've looked around and I cannot figure out where this part goes to. So if you have this part on yours, if you have this, would you look at your control box and see if you have a little part that looks like this? And if so, let me know where that belongs, because I give up. I did go ahead and plug it in. I do know that it works, so that's the important thing. I don't know if that's supposed to be part of this. I don't know if it just ended up in the box as an extra freebie. Who knows, right? So we're going to go ahead and carry on. So our next step is to go ahead and put this costume on this guy. And again, because this costume has this, it has all of this leather here at the top, or the faux leather. It's kind of awkward because the bottom of this costume is very light, and then this leather piece makes it kind of heavy. So it's kind of weird to work with, but it looks like I am getting there. And of course we need to leave some room for the head. So that wasn't too bad. I kind of actually like the way that it's looking. I am going to go ahead and do a little bit of Velcro here in the back, just to kind of keep the costume from falling down right now. Okay, so we can go ahead and put this guy's doctor bag satchel on, and that is going to Velcro right over here at the top. There's a Velcro piece for there, and there is a Velcro piece over here on the costume. So right here on the costume and on the back of the bag, there's a piece of Velcro where that's gonna go. And over here on the strap, there's a piece of Velcro right here. And we're going to take that and strap that right here to this collar up here on this guy's neck. And now we're going to go ahead and put on his right arm. Okay, so this guy's right arm comes in two pieces. There is the arm itself, and then of course there is this hand with holding the lantern. So let's go ahead and put this arm on. Okay, so now we're ready to go ahead and put this dude's right arm on. So we have the foam, and then we have a white wire here and a white wire here. I've rolled up the sleeve, and we're going to go ahead and just drop that right here into the connector for those two little wires coming off of the arm. Then there is that white wire here. There's a white wire coming out of the costume. We're going to go ahead and poke those things two together, and we're going to bring this sleeve right over this piece of foam. We're ready to get his right arm or his right hand, and go ahead and put that here, and we're going to connect this wire for his lantern. So this is the guy's right arm that's holding that lantern. There is a white wire with a connector coming off of it. It also just has the two hooks that are going to go right here inside of the receptacles. So we will do that. All right, that was easy. And then we're going to go ahead and hook up this white wire to light up this lantern. And now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and pull this sleeve up over this hand. Now, both of these, the arm and the hand, so where this right arm connects to, or where the right hand connects to the right arm, and the right arm connects to the shoulder, both of these are supposed to have the little pins that you lock into place. So there's holes that are built into the connecting piece here that you're supposed to slide pins through. Mine doesn't have any pins. So this is what that left arm looks like. The left arm is jointed because it's going to be holding that pole. There is a red wire that is going through this piece of foam. So it looks like we're going to be connecting a red wire once we put this on. So I'm going to go ahead and roll his sleeve on up here. And with the sleeve rolled up, I can go ahead and drop this left arm down into the corresponding socket here. At least I think I can do that. I'm trying. It's a little awkward because you have the joint on this hand and this arm here like this. So a little awkward working with that. And then there is the red wire that's coming off of that left arm, and there is a corresponding red wire here inside of the body. So we are going to go ahead and connect those two guys together. Okay, and now that we have those connected, I'm going to go ahead and bring the sleeve on down over this left arm. So when the sleeves get down here to the hand, you have to be careful because there is elastic around the sleeve, but there's hooks on this arm that this material or the elastic is going to hook around, and so you have to be really careful getting this around those hooks, because this is very thin material and it would be very easy to tear this material or to fray it. But once that elastic is down over these little hooks, when you're ready to take this off, you want to be careful again. So now we're ready to give this guy his staff. The staff comes in 3 pieces. So there are 2 pieces here that are just going to twist in place like this. This is going to be dropping down at the front left of his support frame, and this is going to be holding a cap here that has a very interesting skeleton bird on it. So let's go ahead and drop the bottom piece into the frame. So putting the bottom of the staff onto the frame, there's this unusual little piece of metal that just slides, and we're just going to rest this staff right on top of that little piece of metal right here. Now with that in place, we can go ahead and finish the rest of the assembly on this staff. So we do need to put the rest of the staff here onto the piece of the staff that's molded into his left arm here. And so we should be able to just connect that pretty easily. Alright, so there we go. Now the only thing that we're missing is the topper on this staff. Let me grab that. So there is a red wire coming from this topper, and there is a red wire coming out of the top of the staff here. So we're going to go ahead and connect these 2 together. Now this guy is rated for outdoors, so all of these connections do have a screw-on cap that go onto them. And while I'm doing this, let me tell you, so I put the left arm on, and when I put the left arm on once again, there was the connect, or the pin that should have gone through where it connected to keep it from falling off. Again, I did not get a pin. So that's 3 pins now that I haven't got. 2 for the right arm and 1 for the left arm. And with that wire connected, now we can just drop this right down on top of this staff. It just drops in and it just twists to the right to go ahead and lock that in. Now I'm going to go ahead and go over here to the back side, and I'm just going to connect the wires that are at the front of the costume, somewhere right around in here, to the wires coming off of the control box for that sensor. The only thing that's really left at this point is going to be his head. Let me just fix this up just a little bit right here and bring this down, make him look nice and handsome, and we're ready to put the head on. Now, I already went on ahead and took a look at the head in advance. Guess what? The head just goes right in. Let me just show you this. So the head just goes right in to sockets with 2 pins once again. These 2 pins should have a little metal fastener on them to lock it into place so it can't fall off. I didn't get it. So I'm missing the pins for here, I'm missing the pins for the arm, I am missing the pins for the other arm, and now I am missing pins for the head. So this is starting to feel like it was rushed out the door, like maybe they had a deadline to meet and it was getting close, and I feel like maybe the QC person was like, just get him out the door, I don't care, it's QC, done. So this head does have, this head does have 2 black wires on it, and right now I'm fishing around here in the body to find the 2 wires that I need to connect it with. I have found one of those, but I have not found the other one. So I actually can't find that black wire, so I'm going to go ahead and fish around here in the back. So one thing that I'm not liking is these wires are not easy to get to because they are not Velcro, they are zip tied in certain places, and so they don't give you, they're not giving much slack on where they zip tied them. So I mean, you only have just like a couple inches where they're zip tied. But I did find it, so we can try to drop this head on. It looks like I'm probably going to actually have to try to put this wire on before we drop this head in. Otherwise, I'm afraid it's going to fall back in the body and I'm not going to be able to get it. So let me try to kind of lay the head up here and grab this wire and see if I can't get them connected. Well, unfortunately, what I was just concerned about, there we go, it actually fell back in. So again, because we have very little room to work with. Now odd, this other wire is plenty long, but the second wire is so short, it's really hard to get it up in there. So let's go ahead and connect the second wire. Okay, we got that all connected, ready to drop this head into the connectors without a pin because I did not get any pins. So this does complete our build of the 7-foot animated Plague Doctor. He's looking mighty fine. There's nothing wrong with the way that he looks. I wish I would have got those pins to secure the things in place. If you built one of these, I would be curious to know, A, did you get your pins? B, did you have any mystery parts in your box that you don't know what to do with? If you learned something from this video, give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. And until next time, stay spooky, my friends.